What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. Today, of course, we're looking at some Toronto Maple Leaf trade rumors. So if you guys are new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Join the squad. I'd love to have you guys here. Lots of great content on this channel and lots to come as we're getting closer to the NHL trade deadline. So let's get into some Maple Leafs trade talk. So the first thing I want to bring up is David Pagnotta talking about the San Jose Sharks and the Toronto Maple Leafs potentially cooking up a deal. Now, of course, the Sharks have been pretty bad this season, but that's not to say that everybody on their team has faced the same bad luck. They've had some pretty decent bright spots. A few players have done well, and as you can see on the screen, there's a little bit of a piece here talking about how the Toronto Maple Leafs have interest in defenseman Mario Ferraro and center Luke Kunin. So they're more likely to move a first-round pick for a player under contract, which would obviously be Ferraro, who has signed a 4-year, $13 million deal with the Sharks in 2022, while Kunin remains under team control after the season as a restricted free agent. Now, as you can see, it also says here, including a first-rounder in a package could be of interest to both clubs. Now, he's mentioning that the Edmonton Oilers also have interest in both of these players, Ferraro and Luke Kunin. That first round pick kind of throws me off, especially for Luke, because first of all, he's not worth that, and I don't care if anybody tries to tell you that. He hasn't really had that great of a season. To be honest with you, I don't want to talk about him a lot in this because I don't think the Leafs would be interested, especially with the way that some of their forwards have stepped it up lately. It just doesn't make sense for the Leafs. I don't think that this is a player that they would be interested in my opinion. I'm not saying I know more than David, but I wouldn't even bat an eye at that unless this is like just him coming in as a depth piece, because he's also making, I believe, over $2 million, and he's on the last year of his deal. But Mario Ferraro is a little bit more interesting because he logs a lot of minutes. He plays a ton for San Jose, and he's been pretty decent. I would categorize him as like a number 4 defenseman, and a lot of people might be like, okay, so why would you give up a first for him? Because he's actually put up a decent amount of points, and like I said, it's the contract, right? So he's got a few years. He's only 25 years old, so you're paying and hoping that he gets better, especially playing with better players. He's got 14 points in 51 games played this year. I think he's a really good fit for this team. It's not necessarily the points, and people are going to see this 5'11", 185 pounds. Well, he doesn't play small. He definitely plays bigger than what he is, because this next thing I want to show you is the amount of blocked shots. He is literally one of the top 5 players in the NHL right now in blocked shots. He has 148 currently, good for 5th in the league, and he just continues to do that. He blocks a ton, and as you can see, another guy that the Leafs could be interested in is Chris Tanev. But Ferraro does a lot of really good things. He'll go in there, he'll block shots for you, he'll put up a few points here and there, he'll throw some hits, he'll do a little bit of everything, and his defensive side of the game is what makes him better than, you know, guys on his team, but a lot of other defensemen that the Leafs could be interested in. Of course, Tanev is the defensive dynamo guy that the Leafs could pick up. But if you're looking for a guy that might fit for a few years, who fits in the age group and potentially could give you some pretty good minutes and block some shots and kill penalties, I think Mario Ferraro is actually a really, really good guy that the Leafs could pick up. I think that it makes a lot of sense. So in terms of that, I think that trading with the Sharks, it would have to involve the first round pick, again, for the term, the age, and everything like that. But with the money coming in, it begs the question, who would come out? Where's the money going the other way? And for a lot of Leaf fans, and I'm not saying this to be rude, they've kind of forgot that a guy like Calle Yarncroke in that top 9 hasn't been there. He's been hurt. He's been out of the lineup, and they've been playing really well. When he comes back, I'm not sure he has a spot in that top 9 the way that they've been playing. He's probably going to be a 4th-line guy at the money that he's making. So I'm wondering if the Maple Leafs are going to try to trade him. I can see them burying a contract like Connor Timmins. I could see them, you know, maybe even sitting out Giordano. I could see them maybe trading TJ Brody if they really upgrade on that blue line, although I'd really like his experience come playoff time. But we'll have to see. Definitely an interesting rumor there with Ferraro. I think that that's probably more than Luukkonen. It's gotta be Ferraro. I think that it's a good shot right there. Now I'm gonna bring up a couple tweets here. I believe they're both from Nylander Thews. Again, this person always tweets out Leafs talk and rumors and trade pieces. Now, Elliot Freeman said that the Leafs want a right shot defenseman. So what this person is saying is that rules out Hanifin and Chychrun. He says the Leafs don't want to trade their first round pick for a rental, which we just spoke about. That rules out Tanev because he has one more year left, and goes on to say legitimately have no idea who Trey Living is going to acquire, and it's quite exciting. Now, I want to show the next tweet here, same Twitter account, bringing up Chris Johnston on TSN 1050, saying that he's always been under the impression that if Hanifin was moved, a place like Toronto would appeal to him, and doesn't believe the Leafs are on his no trade list. So that's a lot to take in there. So kind of dueling reports, and it's from two of the biggest names in trade rumor talk that we see on TV all the time and radio hits and everything like that. I think that the Leafs have no idea right now, and I think that reporters would then also have no idea. Now, I can't say the Leafs have no idea. I think that they have a general idea of what they want to do, but a lot of these different defensemen are going to be kind of thrown around and discussed, and people are going to be picking and choosing who they think it is. I think you can have a name like a Mario Ferraro in there. I think you could have a Noah Hanifin in there, a Chris Tanev. Maybe if you go to Seattle and talk about any of their defensemen, like a Larson, which again, that could work too. Big body, could potentially do some good things for the Leafs. But I don't really know if Hanifin is the best option, seeing as though apparently he doesn't want to sign long term in Canada. Now, I guess the Toronto Maple Leafs have already made a pitch and seeing if he would want to sign long term, but Hanifin appears headed for the US on a long term basis, and this was from 32 Thoughts. Now, I think the Maple Leafs, if they were to go after Hanifin, they would have to know he would re-sign, just because you're going to be giving up quite a lot. Now, this is where I again turn back to Mario Ferraro. Is he as good as Noah Hanifin? Well, for the things that Ferraro does, he might suit this team better than Hanifin, and people could call me crazy for that. But if you're going to give up all this value, you might as well hold on to the guy for a few years and potentially see him grow with your team. So Hanifin would be a really nice piece. If he wants to sign long-term in Toronto potentially, then it's an even better discussion. But people, I don't think, are ready for the fact that you're giving up multiple high picks, which the Leafs only have firsts when it comes to high picks, and probably a top prospect and a middle-of-the-pack prospect and a roster player, because they have to clear out money. It's a lot more complicated to go after a guy like Hanifin, or maybe even Chris Tanev, depending on what they make that trade look like. But a guy like Ferraro, maybe even Larson, these are guys that I think the Leafs might be more interested in my personal opinion. But again, there's so many names, there's so many defensemen that are out there that, again, I do agree with Nylander Thews on Twitter that I'm not really sure what they're going to do. And it is exciting, and that's why I want to continue to make this content, because we're going to just chat back and forth. We're going to talk about it. I've seen some comments, people saying, why are you talking about stuff that isn't going to happen? Well, that's the whole thing. It's a rumor. We don't know if it's going to happen. We are just here to discuss and have a little bit of fun. So you guys should leave in the comments down below. What do you guys what do you guys think? What are they going to do? Are they going to make a move for Noah Hanifin? Are they going to go after Chris Tanev? Are they going to go after Ferraro? Are they going to go after Luukkonen? Are they going to go after another forward? You guys let me know in the comments down below. If you're new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Join the squad. I'd love to have you guys here. And let's see what the Leafs do. More videos on the way. I love and appreciate you guys as always. Peace.